Hey guys, in today's episode, we're going to talk about, do I need a financial advisor? Hi, I'm Scott Frank, founder of Stone Steps Financial and certified financial planner. It is something that I've wanted to talk about for a bit, but it's interesting because I view my job as selling vitamins versus selling pain pills. And what I mean by that is pretty much everyone needs an accountant or an accounting system because they have to file their taxes. And if you don't, you go to jail. That's a big problem. Do you need a financial advisor? It's more like vitamins. It's like, do you want to improve your financial life? And if you do want to improve your financial life, how do you want to go about doing it? And there's not a one-size-fits-all answer here, right? It's really about what's the right answer for you, what's the right answer for your spouse, if you have one, and figuring out what the right fit for you is ultimately. So today we're going to talk a little bit about, is a financial advisor right for you? What kind of advisors even exist? Just to help you understand the space, because that's kind of nebulous sometimes, and then where you could potentially go to find an advisor that might be the right fit for you. What kind of advisors do exist, and what exactly does an advisor do? Our job here is to help our clients align their money with their life, right? And what I mean by that is, like, I really view like if you come to us, I really view it as like, to start with, there's a blank canvas and I just want to learn, what does an amazing life look like to you? And let's start sketching that canvas together. And then we look at the resources that you have and we look at like, okay, well, how do we optimize those resources for you to have this life? That's really what a financial advisor is doing if they're doing it well, in my opinion. They're going to be looking at things like your investments, they're going to be looking at your insurances and your estate plan and your cash flow and your balance sheet and your taxes, and helping bring all of those things together. And so one of the first questions that I would have is just simply, are you doing those things for yourself already? And do you feel you're doing them to the best of their ability, right? Part of our job is to help optimize things, and we're optimizing things for people who know that they need help. Could they do it on their own? Sure, pretty much everyone can do, well, you can do most things on your own with enough training and time. The question is your time more valuable doing other things? Right? Is it more valuable spending a bit more time at work to get the next pay raise? Or would you rather spend this time with your kids and your family doing other things rather than spending that time managing your finances? So that's part of it, is looking at it through that lens. As far as the types of advisors that exist, there's really a few big broad brushstrokes of advisors. There are advisors who come from like traditional banking systems. You can think of them being like the big firms downtown with, you know, the big names on the buildings. And then you have insurance companies as well who tout themselves as being advisors at times. Both of those systems, they're under slightly different frameworks than the one that I'm under, but ultimately their companies are usually driven in such a manner that they make money by selling products at the end of the day, and those products are usually beholden to the companies within the company themselves. They operate under what's called a suitability standard, so they have to make sure that a suit fits you, but they don't have to make sure it looks good on you, is what someone in our industry would say often. So I'd just be mindful of how that works and how they're getting paid. They're either getting paid by selling products or by managing money, and that's the way that they make money. The way that our firm works and the way that most firms in our space work is that we are doing comprehensive planning and investment management for our clients. And so we're doing a bit more, the services are a bit more robust. Typically, firms are going to get paid through either assets under management or some type of a fee schedule that's similar. Some advisors in our space are also hourly planners. They're pretty rare to find. And they're rare to find because they get overworked really quickly. Basically, they fill up on their time very, very fast, relatively speaking. And the traditional standard of getting paid in our area is what's called assets under management. Assets under management essentially means that you bring assets into the firm and they manage it for you, and then they do planning and other things for you as well. Ultimately, the value of planning, I think, comes down to a few different things. One is the competency of the person who's helping you. Do they have the right skill sets to help you, right? So like at our firm, we focus a lot on helping clients with, in tech and biotech, with stock compensation and traditional planning and investment management, right? So that's really who we are as a firm. So that's one thing. The next is coaching and being a thinking partner and an advocate with you for the choices that you're making in life. Money is emotional. We don't think of it as emotional, but it's charged with emotion. And the choices that we have to make, it's sometimes very nice to have someone sitting across the table from you who's on your team, who's listening to you and helping you clarify what matters most to you, especially when you have a spouse and the two of you can be there together, hearing one another and what matters to each of you and helping clarify how you want to build a plan to move forward. So that's for coaching. Then for convenience, just simply having someone who can be there for you anytime you have a financial question. So you don't need to have it racking in your brain all the time. What should I do with this or that? You can just send that off to the person who can be helpful to you, and they'll help get you the answer. And then finally is continuity. Continuity is something that I personally worry about. My wife and I have an advisor for that reason. I just want to make sure that if something happens to me, my wife's okay in that moment, right? She doesn't have to take over all the financial responsibilities that we both handled, or that I more so handle, but she has someone to lean on to help her in that moment. So those are reasons that I would think about, is a financial advisor right? And as far as the time to hire a financial advisor, I think what typically happens is that life becomes a little more complex, right? We start to have more assets, we start to have higher levels of assets, and we just want to make sure we're not making mistakes, right? One of the biggest jobs that we can do as an advisor is just simply help people avoid making common and mistakes that can lead to large mistakes that can really set us back, right? If we can just avoid some mistakes, it really helps people get where they want to go a lot faster than if they made those mistakes along the way. As far as where you can go find advisors, I'm a big fan of the CFP. The CFP is a good baseline to understand what is financial planning. So someone should, in my opinion, should have one of those to be able to tell people what to do with their money. And it is my opinion, but I do believe in it. The CFP board has a search function that you can go find advisors there. There's another area that we'll link to called NAPFA, the National Association of Personal Financial Advisors, a good place to go find a lot of advisors there. Of course, if you're in tech or biotech and you want to talk, we're here at Stone Steps. We're happy to help you as well. But yeah, those are the places that I would look. And I hope that this was helpful for you. Have a great day.